turn off that horrible music and get this show on the road. Good evening, everyone. I am Schmuel Buckman, coming to you live from the Jersey Shore tonight. I could move over. I could do that. I could do that. But I have guests coming in, so we'll adjust the grid as necessary. And how are you guys? What's going on? Like I said, it's me. It's Schmuel, and we're here. And because there's nothing going on the planet today, um, a good friend has said that they would join us. So they will. And we'll ask some interesting questions and find out what's going on in their universe. Um, so that's it. My PC is not charging, but technical problems are just part of the stream. So hello everyone. Let's go back. You guys have been here for a while. There's a bit of a delay. Serenity now. Welcome, Scooney. Welcome, Cigarette Jones. Not only welcome, but thank you for helping us out tonight. Rochi, of course, with the snarky comment to get us going. Right, you have 2 minutes. No Tookie, no views. I can tell you that the puppet is at least in the background. So that's the best I can do. And doing me a favor, I am not going to force him on the air. Let's remember supertip.gg/Buckman there for all of your needs. Our chat's been really humming lately, so we want to make sure that everybody gets a chance. And let's look over here and let's see what our computer says. So our computer says, "Oh, someone give Joe Biden ice cream." Rochi, you need a new gimmick. So I'd like to welcome to the stage everyone, my good friend and gambling partner, Rocco. Hey.
What the hell did I sign up for? This is the worst 9/11 ever. This is Tookie's 9/11.
Wait. I thought I was getting Rocco.
You made Tookie.
No, we were supposed to get Rocco.
No, you don't get Rocco. You get Tookie.
No, we booked Rocco.
Everyone gets Tookie.
We booked Rocco.
No one gets Rocco. Why would I be Rocco on your show? I'm never Rocco on my show.
Well, all right. So you're Mr.
I'll answer as Tookie.
Mr. Tookie, who are you and what do you do? We were expecting someone else.
What? I'm a puppet, and I make fun of idiots like you.
I was expecting Rocco. I had an entire conversation arranged all about fast food.
Rocco
chicken, hamburgers.
No one wants to talk to Rocco. They want to talk to Tookie. You make Tookie sit through that 10-minute song that just kept going and going and going. Then you come on and you have these bug eyes. You look like a ghost that saw a ghost. And then you're like, hi, everybody. I don't know if Tookie wants to come on. Of course Tookie wants to come on.
Well, he's in there, but I got to keep him guessing.
What do you want to ask me, you animated loogie?
I disappoint them all the time. Well, did you shoot Charlie Kirk?
Of course I did not. It's very sad what is going on in the world today. Well, yesterday. But I guess today too, because it really is 9/11. Oh, this is the worst 9/11 ever.
It is.
So what do you want to ask Rocco? Ask me as Rocco.
I'd like to know about your penchant for fried chicken, hamburgers.
I have no penchant.
Which ones are the best?
Fried chicken. I like KFC. Next question.
I was instructed by one Mexican Shuli to ask Rocco many questions, and he wanted to know what your preferred fried chicken place was
I would Gus's
hamburger
Fried
place
Chicken.
and donut.
Well, I mean, ask me one at a time. For fried chicken, I would say go to Gus's Fried Chicken. It's a chain, and they have a bunch in the Midwest and down south. It's fantastic. Nas Redna, he is a big fan of Gus's Fried Chicken. That is my go-to if it is in the city or area I am in. If not, I am KFC all the way. Popeye Steaks, just because it was in Little Nicky doesn't make it good. Next
Hamburger.
question.
Hamburger.
Hamburger. Hamburger. Carl. He's my favorite hamburger.
Very, very funny.
No, I would
And
say I have an
and
In-N-Out less than 5 minutes from my house, and In-N-Out still does it right. It's formulated the drive-through and the wait time, and it's still reasonably priced, and it's a fantastic burger. So I will go with In-N-Out just like every other hack. Next.
so In-N-Out's significantly better than Five Guys or less?
I don't go to Five Guys because it's so expensive, and I never really got into Five Guys. But anytime I've had it, I mean, I've liked it. I was just never a Five Guys guy.
I was turned on to Five Guys when Ron and Fez were in Washington.
Yes, Ron and Fez were on Five Guys very early on. Because, yeah, Five Guys originated in Washington, and when they are on JFK, they would go to the original Five Guys. And then later on, years later, they would talk about how since it franchised and everything, it's not as good as the original Five Guys was.
I agree, and it stinks when you walk through the door.
You stink. Were they one of the? They were one of the places that used to do the peanut thing, right?
Right.
But they stopped that, obviously, right?
They did stop it, and then they had Texas Roadhouse was another one with the peanuts.
Yes, Texas Roadhouse is fantastic. We go there, at least once a month because we have one of those by us. And it's fantastic. Texas Roadhouse has far surpassed Outback Steakhouse. Outback Steakhouse used to be a pretty good chain restaurant to go to, but they have downgraded their food for the last couple of years, and Texas Roadhouse is the place Tookie will go for steak with his family.
And
Plus, they give you a bag of peanuts now.
Now that I am in New Jersey, I have been to Texas Roadhouse, and it is wonderful. I was very surprised. But they do not throw the peanuts on the floor anymore.
No.
You just get bags.
You'll get arrested. Yes, you just get bags. And the Outback signature dish, the bloomin' onion, is way better at Texas Roadhouse. They call it a cactus blossom. Does anyone care? Is this fantastic?
This is fantastic.
Tookie usually goes with the 12-ounce prime rib, medium rare. I get a side of, I get a Caesar salad, loaded baked potato. Sometimes I'll get some grilled shrimp on that bad boy. Always get sauteed mushrooms. Next question.
Do you miss Jersey food?
No. Yes, I do. I miss Jersey Chinese food. Chinese food in the rest of the country is gray, and it stinks. All the pork is gray. For some reason, they don't know about that barbecue stuff that they put on pork, I guess on the East Coast, or not even the East Coast, just like New York, New Jersey area, that Connecticut, tri-state area. But yeah, Chinese food was something that I got while I was in New Jersey over the summer. We had tons of pizza. Marco, I think is what it is in Ocean City. And Three Brothers. I'm a big fan of Three Brothers pizza. That is boardwalk pizza for you layman's. Three Brothers from Italy. They give you a fantastically large slice. Next question.
Well, that would be Benny Tudino's in Hoboken.
Who?
The largest place in America. Benny Tudino's Pizza in Hoboken.
I've never been there. I never went to Hoboken. I wasn't a drinker, so I grew up in Morris County, like by Lake Apacon, and people would go to Hoboken every now and then. And then actually, I think now we have a train at like the Mount Arlington exit. Exit 30 on 80, Ray. It's a good place to dump some bodies and then get a hot dog at Davey's Hot Dogs. Davey's Hot Dogs, we're on a roll. Yay!
I would tell you that Hoboken is very different than what you experienced as a kid, but you hadn't been there, so it wouldn't make any sense, would it?
I went a couple of times, but most of the times it was just to take the path to get into the city. So
let's make from one end of it to the other every day,
Mhm,
and
mhm, mhm.
that's the extent.
And you still haven't
Um,
been stabbed in the neck by a Newport?
Not on the path.
That's fantastic. Do you worry about that stuff?
Although
Is it bad now? Like, is
it's
it
better than it was.
better than it was?
Yeah, it was bad like about a year or two ago. It was scary.
Oh, I
Uh,
bet.
but
I haven't been to New York since 2017, and it was pretty bad, man. Like, we were on the subway. My kid was like maybe 11 or 12. He was all excited. Wow, New York, New York, New York. He gets on the subway, and then, here comes the crazy. Crazy starts going, asking people for money. No one's sending him money. Then all of a sudden, the crazy snaps at this family. What the fuck you mean you ain't giving me no money? What's your problem? Listen, I need help. I need help. And they'll go, all right, let's go. We're going to the next car. Of course, he goes to the next car, so we had to keep moving. And that totally broke my kid's spirit. He was like, I don't like New York anymore. There's a lot of crazy people here. I was like, welcome. It's fantastic. Free
it's
entertainment.
so different when you grow up with it. 9/11 in the subway ended my first marriage because of that
Oh
stuff.
no, your wife was in the building?
No, I wish. No, I'm
Oh
kidding.
no.
She was working nearby,
Uh-oh.
and became terrified of the subway after that,
I don't
and
blame her.
the terrorists and all those things, and
Mhm.
moved to a very small town in the South where
I
she's
don't.
very happy now.
It's
My
fantastic.
brother was a Fidney fireman at
Oh,
the
I thought you were going to
time
say he was a tadpole.
and missing for, I don't know, 8 or 10 hours. There was no cell
What?
service. Yeah, it was a really crazy day.
It
Um,
was a crazy day. I was in photography class. I was in my senior year, and my teacher got a note from some kid that brought it down from the office or his teacher or something, and he was like, apparently some kind of plane has hit the World Trade Center. If anyone has parents who work in the World Trade Center, you might want to go to the office. I don't really know what this is. And then by the time the classes changed, everyone had known what was going on. All this talk in the halls. I could not focus on class, so I wandered the halls for a little bit. A teacher pulled me in and was like, "Tookie, get in here, come watch history." And I watched the towers collapse with a bunch of crying teachers. And I was like, "Holy shit! Do I have to go to work today?"
it's
And I did.
crazy. I got to see the second plane hit from the Honeywell Street Bridge in Long Island City,
That was
and
fantastic! Congratulations!
I someday want to find the video though of. So my wife used to like to watch the CBS Morning News,
Yes, with Dan
and
Rather.
there was a very large fat lady. I guess very large and fat are uh, the same thing, but she was a very large lady, and she had won like a Pacifica, some kind of minivan,
That's
and
fantastic.
she was all excited to be on the news from the Midwest somewhere, and they were about to present it to her, and they switched to World Trade Center coverage,
Mm-hmm.
and
She got
never
bumped.
heard never heard from again.
Unbelievable. We all suffered that day, but probably her the worst of all.
It
It's
was a
sad to
big
hear.
moment.
Why did you think you were getting Rocco when you promoted this whole thing as Tookie? Tookie joins us. Tookie is here. Tookie will be on. And then you're like, where's Rocco? You tried to trick my audience?
I did. Well,
You talking
that
flembot?
and I had conversations with somebody about what would be the best thing to do when you came on, and
Oh, who? Tookie?
we thought that would be it.
I
Yeah,
don't
Tukey
remember.
and I had a conversation.
Oh, I don't
Uh,
remember. But
no,
again, why
not
did
you.
you say Rocco? Oh, it
It
wasn't me?
wasn't. It wasn't you. It
Oh,
wasn't
well,
you.
then you got to let me know the conversations you have with your imaginary friends.
Well, I'm such a ball washer. I was gonna send you a DM and say, you can come on however you want. You don't have to go through this whole Tukey thing. And then I'm like,
But
I
that's what
can't be
people
telling
want.
him what to do.
Yes, you
So
can't. I should be telling you what to do. And that's why you want Tookie. Tookie brings the numbers. Look at you. You have like 4 people in here. I'm assuming that's 4 times the people you normally have.
It's significantly more than we
Oh, that's
have. You
fantastic.
probably got an extra 25, maybe.
What?
What do you say, chat?
What are you,
What do we do
sticking it to
usually? About
Tookie?
35, 40. Well, that's why I got you on here now, because when I go up against you on Tuesday nights,
Mhm.
so
Very
we
stupid.
want we want them here. Oh, I'm an idiot. You know that.
Go on after me. I'll
Well,
direct my people. Go on against Ray. You're battling Ray. Ray's
I
numbers are so depressing. Everyone go watch Rock Bottom Podcast with Ray DeVito.
Ray will do the. He still does the text thing where he sends the link,
Oh no, are you feeling it?
right? And he sends the text link, and he's like,
Are you feeling it?
Going on at 6:37 if you're into it."
Oh,
And
into it.
then you kind of get set up, and then he goes, "No, I just meant for you to watch it. But if you want to come on, it's okay if you come on."
Oh
Uh,
no. You
yeah,
thought you were getting invited to the prom, but they wanted you to work the prom or just watch the
right. But
prom.
yeah, I've been on Ray's show enough. And
What? You
Ray
bragger.
says you're not allowed to talk about me.
Racist.
So I do, and
Well, it's
we
fantastic.
go we go from there. But Ray is a real fan of yours.
Yes.
As
Yes.
a matter of fact, he still talks about the time that you wouldn't go on a show in Las Vegas.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Melton wouldn't
No.
let him, and I'm like,
Again, I think
you
I
got
made
to
the right
understand.
choice.
You did. Man, I was driving him to the gig from the hotel,
Mhm.
and this is like less than an hour before the show, and he's like still talking about who he's going to have as a guest, like
Mhm.
proposing it.
Yeah, I wonder why Ray wasn't invited to the second one.
Exactly.
Mhm,
I,
mhm.
I it,
Exactly.
he was, yeah, and poor Pat Dixon said that nothing has affected his career, not even Felicia, like sleeping through the gig there.
Mhm.
All right,
Has anyone ever
so
told you you kind of seem like Jim Norton if he was asexual?
the comparison's been made, but Jim is funny,
Well, yes,
so sort of goes out the window.
that's true.
And and this is me.
Why'd you have more hair than him?
I get more compared to Jigsaw and
Oh
other
yeah,
other serial killers. And then
the
there's a
bad
guy
guy,
from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think that I don't might be the same guy.
the grandfather,
I
the
don't
one that
know.
sucks her finger, the blood. He doesn't really
Yeah.
move.
So
He's basically dead.
Cigarette Jones is asking. At Panhandler, does Lucy really have Taco Bell a Taco Bell tattoo? I apologize. I thought that was for you, my friend.
Probably. She looks like a coloring book.
Uh, can I tell you one of my favorite Melton stories? So we're at
Can I tell you one
DabbleCon
of my
too.
favorite Matt Damon stories, real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I don't have a favorite Matt
I
Damon
know you
story.
don't. Now I'm walking into DabbleCon 2 with Melton, and Lucy's walking around, and apparently you guys had convinced him that Lucy was really a guy and had
Wait, who
transed
was
into
this? Ray?
Melton Patrick.
Oh, we convinced Melton?
Yeah, Patrick was like, well,
Mhm,
what's the deal?
mhm,
She was a guy,
mhm,
and
mhm.
so I finally had to bite the bullet and ask Lucy directly.
Oh, you blew it!
I, well, I needed to know.
That's fantastic. You asked her if she was a guy?
Yeah,
You
I did.
retard.
I've done. Well, she was very sweet in Vegas, and she got along well with the missus. So
Why is it because you were afraid that you were having feelings for a man with a penis wearing a dress?
it wouldn't be the first time I've had
I
feelings for a
knew
man
it.
with a penis wearing a dress.
I
Come
knew it.
on, don't we all do that?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I
Next question.
introduced I introduced Luigi or Hack Ride to poppers. So you
Who?
know,
Who's Poppers?
you don't know what poppers are?
Is that a
Poppers
Spurtopia
locker
person?
room. Oh my God, it's
Oh
a
wait, are those the
product.
things? You mean those things you put in your butt?
It's the you what do you call it? You pop them under your nose,
Oh
and
yeah,
they
that's right. Anal nitrate or something?
amyl nitrate. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Oh, I thought you put
there
them in
were
your butt.
there were knockover. I don't know about putting them in your butt. I do know about putting them under your nose.
Wait, so you
And
had anal nitrate at Hackamania? Where'd you get that?
No. I was explaining to our friend, Mister, your Mexican Chuli friend. I was explaining to
Oh,
him
Luigi.
about
Oh,
poppers and
okay.
about locker room.
I'm confused.
And then I sent him a copy of an old ad. He said, "You're wrong. It says men's odorizer makes the room smell like men."
Mhm,
Uh,
mhm.
I'll leave you to figure that out. He'll explain it to you one day.
That's
And
fantastic.
it was actually a lot of fun. And I caught shit for that because apparently a another podcaster is very mad at me for the way that I grovel to the likes of you and
Yes, it is
Hackride and
disgusting.
Luigi Greenberg
Mhm.
and you know
Wait,
like
you you kiss the feet of Luigi Greenberg and Hackride the way you do with Tookie?
uh not
No,
they're more helpful.
oh, yes.
I don't avoid them as much as you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Tookie is very busy. Very busy. But
You
no, do
you I
not be
avoid.
afraid of your worship for Tookie. It is very normal. Most people have it. It will probably go away in a year or so. Hmm?
How do you feel about people using you to name drop?
What do you mean? Who uses me to James Job?
Well, Mersh was talking about that the other night. That he's like, people
Oh,
are when they're name dropping Carl, they're name dropping you,
he's right.
Adam Bush.
He's right. I personally love it. I love hearing people talk about the puppet or Tookie. Um, yeah, I don't care. No, I listen. I like doing these shows to try and help my friends. Not everyone, but most people get at least one. It is then your job to keep the people and keep them entertained. But everyone, well, not everyone, but most people get the Tookie bump at least once.
I thought I was honored that this you said this was going to be the last one you did for the year.
Yeah, I mean, besides like MLC or
Well,
uh
big like shows.
yes, actual shows.
Shows.
Yes, actual
I
shows.
get it.
Matt Dixon wants Tookie on. If Tookie can be there, he will be there. But I'm talking to you, the Jake Hudsons of the universe.
Thank
Not
you.
that you are one of the Jake Hudsons of the universe, but you're close.
Nothing makes me happier than being compared to Jake Hudson.
It's
And
fantastic.
no, and second to that only is being in a stream where people start discussing Jake Hudson,
Hmm.
and I start rethinking my life.
People love
Uh,
Jake Hudson. He brings numbers.
uh, Panhandler says the Muppet wishes he was the old Panhandler. Any truth to that rumor?
The puppet wishes he was Panhandler.
Yes.
What a food cuck! You think Tookie would ever stand another man taking his meat Stromboli order? Now let me let you in on a secret, Casper the Friendly Ghost. Will you be in Atlantic City for Super Bowl 3,
I
the
will.
third annual NLO Tookie Soup Super Bowl 3?
Of course I will.
Were you there the other times? I don't even remember.
I'm very disappointed you don't know the answer to that.
I can't remember. Well,
Particularly since I followed you around with your stupid Gino shirt on.
oh yeah.
Yes,
I saw you in
I
the
was
poker
there.
room. I think that was the first time I met you, right?
Yes. Yeah, I
Yes.
think so.
Okay. You're right. You're right. I did. I met you in the poker room because you thought I was Gino, right?
Right. Because I
Okay.
had
Yes.
because you were a very rough looking Gino,
Fuck
and
off.
when I had last seen Gino in the Tennessee Beer Hall,
You look
he
like you're made of
was
plastic wrap.
rough looking, and I
Oh,
thought, oh my god,
how
what
dare
happened to
you?
him overnight?
How dare you? But yes, everyone knows the best thing to eat at the Borgata is the meat lovers Stromboli, and to have another man snatch it from my grasp and then go, yeah, I took your Stromboli. What are you going to do about it? You can have my big sausage and onion pizza. I would never want to be Panhandler. He'll never live it down. He can never live it down.
I still haven't figured out what the difference is between Stromboli and pizza.
You're retarded. It's completely different.
Well, tell me what the difference is.
What the hell are you talking about? Pizza is pizza. Stromboli is Stromboli. I mean, I guess it's kind of like a wrapped up pizza. It's like a pizza burrito.
I just
You
don't like the way you treat TJ, and
you
so
don't
or
even know his name.
JT, sorry, JT, and
How can you be from that area and not know what Stromboli is?
of course I know what Stromboli is.
No, you don't now because
But how
yeah, you
can
do now because
JT
of
be
Tookie.
from here and not know what it is?
Because Tookie just explained it to you. Next
Oh,
question.
uh, Tookie, is it true that Rocco does El Horrible Cardiff and OJ as well?
Yes, I actually do. Thank you finally for someone figuring it out. I actually do all the voices. I pre-record the other guys and the timing is just always right. Everything is scripted out. And that's
So
why
what do
we're
you do? Like
successful.
every place you go, you find a fat guy to put in a potato in a mask?
He's husky. How dare you? Next question.
Oh my God, you're pushing me.
How long is the
So
show?
uh, you'll be here probably another 40 minutes, maybe?
Oh, that's
Can you do
fantastic.
that?
Yes, yes, yes.
40, 45 minutes. I
Yes.
like to keep I'm
No,
happy
I
for you
have
to
I
I
have at
go
the
till
most.
I go till 10, but I'm not gonna hold you hostage.
No, that's fine. If you want to go to 10, that's fine. That's what I was going to say. At the most, I have like 2 hours total.
Oh, okay. I didn't
Clock's running. Next question.
slow it down. Does Sid Rosenberg still owe Rocco money?
Yes. Lots of money. That piece
And
of garbage.
how did that happen?
Sid Rosenberg is garbage. Don't want to get into this. All right. So I was working.
You don't have to if you don't want to, but I think it's an interesting story. Go ahead.
I was working with Sid Rosenberg at a startup company. I was also working with like Nick DiPaolo, the radio chick, all these people. Sid had a sports show. I would create production for it. We would talk before the shows, and it just got into the fact that, I would put in sports bets. And he was very interested in that. So I did. And he lost $6,500 in one weekend. And he stiffed us. He stiffed the Duke. But yeah.
How could you afford to be stiff $6,500 at that time?
I couldn't. I was basically an intern. Trust me. People wanted to visit him. And I was like, no, I gotta figure this out. And he was looked into and everything, and they were like, oh, this motherfucker does this all around town. Allegedly. He owes all kinds of bookies everywhere. And he's a piece of garbage. I think he has a book. Sid was, he was like hot shit for a little bit on WFAN, but then he like no-showed a Super Bowl event or something because he was too busy doing drugs and fucking hookers behind his wife's back. Family man. Oh, I love Israel. I love Israel. Hey, handsome. Hey, handsome. He'd always say that to me. Hey, handsome, I'll get you the money. No problem, handsome. I'll get you the money. He is garbage. He is. Ah! Yes, I hate him.
I remember Imus must have given him like 30 chances.
Yeah. No, but he was garbage. And
so when he got his shit back together again and supposedly is not gambling, he never offered to pay the money?
no, of course not. That was years later. Basically, I just settled up and because they're yeah, I don't want. That's it. Everything was settled. And Sid Rosenberg got away with it. He's garbage. And keep reminding him of that. Keep asking him, where's Rocco's money? Where's Rocco's money? Where's Rocco's money? He'll know. I know he'll know. He's got to know. Sid Rosenberg. I see Mr. Blue Sky saying, who are they talking about? Sid Rosenberg, WABC talent. He sucks. And he's a jerk off who stiffs, who reneges on his bets. He doesn't pay his bets. He doesn't pay his gambling debts. He's garbage. He's a former junkie, always a junkie.
And he's a co-employee of one Anthony Cumia currently.
Yes. I thought Anthony had such better moral compasses. He seems like such a well put together guy. How could he hang out with Sid Rosenberg?
I know. It's a
That
shame you
hot
weren't.
dog skinned Shuley. Did you ever see him? He looks like a roasted hot dog.
I have seen him. It's a
Like he's
shame you
made of
weren't at
bologna.
Content House, and you could have reminded Kumia to ask him for you.
Content House. I was watching that. No one was watching that.
Sam Bibley says Rocco owes me money.
Fuck
Does
off,
Rocco owe
Sam.
people
Get it from
money?
Sid. Get it from Sid. Ask Sid Rosenberg. Sydney Rosenberg. Sydney. Remember Kevin Canessa? Sid? Your lackey? Your slave? Anyway.
And did the startup? Did you make millions
went
on the
nowhere.
startup?
No.
Or it just go belly up?
No, it wasn't work. It was before its time. It was called Shovio. And it basically was exactly what we're doing now. In 2009, it was a way so that webcams could communicate with each other, but then also have an audience. It literally was StreamYard. But at the time, people weren't watching shit on their phones or their computers as much, you know? And it was just way before its time. And I don't know if the creator ever made money, because then all of a sudden you see like Zoom and Teams and all this shit. And I was like, that's exactly what we were doing. But we weren't using it. They tried to sell it to companies as a way to do like conferences and stuff, but they were more trying to sell it as like an entertainment platform, like a Sirius XM, like come get a subscription to Shovio and you can see all these washed up old radio people, which actually Nick DiPaolo was my favorite to work with, but Nick left literally after like his second show. He's like, I don't know. None of this fucking shit works, Rocco. I don't know what's going on. I got to make money. And I'm like, yeah, I don't blame you, Nick. So Nick was always a nice guy. I kept in touch with Nick actually for a while. And, but I haven't talked to him for a very long time.
He's sort of gone off the grid since he went down to Georgia.
Yes, he's in Georgia now. He's all buff. He's got a goatee and he's carrying guns. His hair is all gray. He looks great.
Cool.
He's gonna
And
shoot some
did
black.
he shoot Charlie Kirk?
Yes. Next question. No, of course not. They find this monster yet?
Still
I haven't
looking.
been paying attention. Still looking.
Just before the show.
That's insanity.
I can't. What can I tell you? I mean, it's not new, right? Like this is the stuff that happens all the time.
I don't know. This is pretty wild. I don't know the last time we actually saw like an assassination like that. And we basically saw it on live TV because everywhere you look, just like I was saying in 2009, no one was really watching shows on their phones or really all that much on their computer. No one watches TV anymore. So now it was just all over Twitter and every fucking social media. God damn.
And that was a hell of a shot, right?
That's what I was saying too. One shot, no follow-up shots. Insanity.
1 minute he's there, the next minute he's
over. He was dead. He was dead before he hit the ground. That was one of those things where they're like, yeah, he was dead before he hit the ground. You could see it just in his face. Like the life was immediately out. And the waterfall of blood pouring out of his neck. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It was quick. Lucky,
yeah, I mean, he literally was like slaughtered. It was like just taking out an animal. Like it was horrible. But the precision, holy shit!
I was shocked. I was like, you know how hard it is to get a headshot? I mean, even in the neck, right? Like that spot.
Tookie is an excellent shot, so Tookie understands what it takes.
Okay. Well, I'm in your former state, so we're not allowed to have guns, and because
move.
We've got all these liberal
Get
people.
out of there! Why do you stay? You can live anywhere else for cheaper. Get out! Aren't you 100? You can't possibly still be working.
Yes, no, I'm not 100, but I'm also married to someone who's still working. And
well, you say, baby, it's either me or your career. Peace. I gotta leave this dump, New Jersey.
Well, you know, as rumor has it, she's the one that makes the money. So where can I go?
That's fantastic. You can
Yeah.
go live at Jake Hudson's.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. And then I'll be instead of doing bad streams, I'll be sticking my finger in my ass and looking for hemorrhoid blood.
Mm-hmm. How
And
could the
then
plague be back in our country and it not have originated from Jake Hudson's home?
they love to blame the migrants, but
That's what
my
Tookie
focus
does.
is always on Mississippi.
Tookie blames the migrants.
But
Trust me, I've had bed bugs. I know where they came from.
the Villa Roma?
No. Pakistanis or Indians. Most likely Indians. They came from Edison Township, New Jersey. So it was most likely Indians.
Did you ever look at a list of hotel owners?
List of hotel owners? What are you talking about? No.
It's always Patel, 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 Patel.
Oh, hacka hacka.
They love that business.
I got it.
And so don't get too close to home here.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what they used to say that about like the Air India flights were littered with bed bugs.
I'm
But
sure.
unlike America, they would just flood them with poison when nobody was on them.
Oh, that's fantastic. I don't think poison really kills them though. You need extreme heat or extreme cold. We called Roscoe. Yo, where Roscoe at? Yo, call Roscoe. But we didn't need Roscoe because we knew we had bed bugs. So we didn't even get to see the dog. And then they froze him. They shoot him with nitrous oxide. And then I felt like, and then we had to take all our clothes and go to the laundromat and go to giant dryers and dry our clothes like a million times. And then it was $500 a room to treat. I think we had to treat like 4 rooms, so it was like $4,000. And I never felt that the bed bugs were completely gone until we had a house fire like 3 months later and totally lost everything. I was like, oh, bed bugs are gone. Yay!
They did a neighbor's house. They covered it in a tent, and I guess they heated up. So, yeah, luckily I haven't had to deal with bed bugs.
Do not put your bags on any kind of furniture when you travel. Put them on wooden tables. That is Tookie's advice. Also, when you get to the hotel, check the back of the bed. Lift the flaps of the mattress. Make sure there are no spots. You'll see black spots. Also, on the floorboard or on the back wall behind the headboard, take a look. And if you see black anything on the wall or headboard, run! Because if you take a wet paper towel to that blackness, it will show up red. Because that is bedbug shit, and they're shitting out your blood. No! Also, go to bedbugregistry.com before you go to a hotel. Thank you. This has been a PSA from Tookie.
Pre-Hackamania 1, Kevin Brennan convinced me to go to bedbugregistry.com, and I went and I looked, and it was like every hotel in Las Vegas was on that list.
Of course. You have to be extra careful. That's why like New York is such a hotbed for bed bugs, Vegas, all these, touristy cities where all these filthy la cucarachas come and lay their babies.
Will your mom go back to Vegas?
Yes.
To the plaza?
Yes. Oh, yeah. She can't wait. She loves it. We all love it. It's fantastic. It's such a good time. And we get to see people that we meet. We only see a couple of times a year. It's just such a good time. Like, I look forward to Hackamania.
It really is. It really is a lot of fun.
I'm going to be sad when Melton stops inviting me.
Just don't pull a Ray. Or keep your green costume green.
What?
And the Tookie outfit.
Yes.
Don't let it get bedbug ridden.
Oh,
ratty.
Yes. No, but they're like bed bugs. Any place could experience bed bugs. Anyone could get bed bugs. That's the thing. It doesn't matter if you're clean or you're dirty. They just hitchhike onto something. Like if you take public transportation, like Schmuel Buckman here, and goes on the path every day, chances of him getting bed bugs are way higher than most of you because he shares a seat on that path train with a bunch of filthy immigrants. And clean ones. And clean immigrants. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter.
It's more the 7 train. The PATH train is essentially,
Oh, there you go. The 7 train
well,
too. Now you've doubled
well,
your odds. Do you go to the
yes.
movies?
Yes, but I haven't gotten
Oh,
enough.
tripled your odds. These are all fantastic places to get bed bugs. Bed bugs. Get them near you
Yeah.
on a train or at a movie theater.
I don't go any. I used to go to the ones. Remember the two on 42nd Street in Manhattan? They were across the
Yes.
street from each other. The
Yeah.
AMC and the Regal.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I went to one and there was a shooting, and then I went to another one and there was a stabbing, and I thought
That's
this
fantastic.
might be appropriate time for me to stop.
Mm-hmm. That's when
Is it?
movies were 25 cents and they had
Yeah,
ushers.
like 8 or 9 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
I
but
remember.
I was back in the day when Saturdays for a nickel you'd get 5 films.
God, you're so old.
I know it's terrible how old I am. I
Mm-hmm.
saw Jaws in the theater. That's how old I am.
What?
So,
On a
uh,
Nickelodeon?
yeah, the Nickelodeon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Did you ever go into Manhattan when the Peep Show? I don't know how old you are, but did you ever go into Manhattan with the Peep shows?
I never went to them. No, I wasn't really. I wasn't old. I was So like, what am I? 41. I think I'm about to be 42. Yeah, I'm about to be 42. So yeah, no, I was too young. Like I like as I was going into the city was like the Giuliani years. Like I used to
Uh,
go into Brooklyn in the city with my parents and stuff during like the Dinkins years, and I was scared shit of the city. I hated going to the city. Like the squeegee guys and all that shit. Like that shit literally scared me. I remember going to Ranger games with my dad and we park on like the West Side Highway, and the West Side Highway back then was not what it is today.
that's where you would have found Jim Norton over on West Street.
Yes, and a lot of raised victims.
That's where all the trains are. And then like 22nd or 23rd in Madison, was another place like you would
Hold
drive
on, I'm
past.
writing this down.
And yeah,
23.
unfortunately, no more.
All right.
And I'm sure Jim would be able to tell you about those days.
It's
Uh,
fantastic.
did Jim ever tell you any of the Hasidic Jew stories over there?
I mean, if he told them on the show, I probably heard them, but I've no know anything.
They were those guys would be in those places all the time. And I'm from Queens, and there would be the they used to call them dime a dance, but I can't think of there's a Spanish name and I can't think of it. Where you go in and you pay like $5 to dance with the girl,
La
right?
quinceañera.
And it's supposed to just be like a dance thing. And
Mm-hmm.
a friend of
On her
mine convinced
13th
me to go,
birthday.
and we go, and it was all Hasidic men.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It just crazy,
Did you get a
crazy,
dance?
crazy. Of course, I got to dance.
That's fantastic.
I had no choice. Mo Green, Ron Duguay was banging hot broads.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Ron Duguay, your time?
Oh yeah, the Ranger Ron Duguay, right?
Yes, yes.
No, he was before my time, but I know of him. Yes, he's the one with the hair. The hair.
Yeah, he was really big on Cameo for a while.
Oh really?
Yeah, my buddy bought his son-in-law a Ron Duguay Cameo.
Ron Duguay. Yes.
Very personable guy. All right, so you grow up in Jersey, right?
Yes.
How do you get into the audio video entertainment world?
I was always in bands, even though I was not musically inclined at all. But I loved the idea of performing, and we would go on like tours. Like I had a conversion van and a trailer. I was kind of like the booking guy, the making merch guy, booking shows, and then I also played trumpet in the band. But I only played trumpet in the band because I wanted to, do all this other stuff. So I would, manage our little tours. We'd go from Jersey and go all the way down to Florida, and then we go all the way across to LA, up to San Francisco and back. We take 80 back to Jersey, and I would do that constantly. And then I started making music videos, and I just taught myself how to edit. And I grew up. My dad always had like a new camcorder or something, and he foolishly always let me play with it. So I was always into. I always loved the idea of putting a movie together so I was always more into the editing side of things than like a performer or anything. Like I never thought of myself as a performer, but when we would do shows in between songs and stuff, I would tell jokes. You know, like I remember one time in Georgia, I forgot we were playing in like a church. It was a church in a strip mall, and I started telling all these Jesus jokes that we recently learned, and they literally cut our power and chased us out. They're like, "Get the fuck out of here." We're like, "Are we getting paid?" They're like, "No, get the fuck, we're gonna lynch you." Because I was also considered black there. I'm very dark. I've always been dark as a young Italian Sicilian.
Yes,
No one, you know.
they're not used to their Italians down in that
Mm-mm.
neighborhood.
No.
And
Yeah, I had the opposite struggle of you. Mm-hmm.
did Rocco? Noga's asking, did Rocco go to the Connecticut School of Broadcasting?
Yes. So I was always making videos and music videos and stuff like that. But while I was doing all that stuff, I was always listening to talk radio. I was listening to Stern, Ron Fez, Opie and Anthony, Radio Chick, all that crap. And sometime in 2006, my dad, who was always like, "What are you gonna do with your life? What are you doing? What are you always doing these video things for free and all this other shit?" My dad kind of talks like Ray Romano, which was the inspiration for Tookie a little bit too. And I kept hearing Connecticut School of Broadcasting on Howard and Sirius. Because actually, Howard had already been there. So I was like, I'll go to this Connecticut school or whatever. You want me to go to school? I didn't realize it was only a 6-month program, that once your $10,000 check cashed, you basically graduated. And I guess the way it works is that Connecticut School of Broadcasting buys airtime on the radio station, and also they'll supply free labor to the radio stations, because I was like, how can I get a radio internship and not go to college? And Connecticut School of Broadcasting was the answer, because it was only 6 months. They had a relationship with the radio stations, and once your check cleared, hey, you graduated. Good news. Wells Fargo said you graduated. So that was it. There was a teacher there, though, who has been doing stuff with Sam Roberts, though. Not Don LaGreca, his brother. Do you know who I'm talking about? You know Don LaGreca? He was
I
like
know
on
Don LaGreca, yeah.
Okay, he has a brother. Is it Steve? It might be Steve LaGreca, but I think he works for Sirius, and I think he's even done stuff with Sam Roberts. I think he does wrestling stuff now. But he was one of my instructors. They bragged about Artie Lang went to this. Artie Lang sat right there. It was like, who gives a fuck? Are you serious? Because he went to the Hasbrook Heights School as well as I did. And I think it was like 3 times a week from like 6 to 10 at night or something. It was ridiculous. And I got in trouble for saying the N-word.
I'm surprised.
On one of my projects I had to do with a black guy, and we were supposed to do a sports talk show. And I was like, I want to find something interesting about sports. So I found out that one of Babe Ruth's nicknames was N-Lips, but I didn't say N-Lips. So I just presented it like a fact, like, hey, did you know? And I said to this fucking guy, I was like, did you know they used to call Babe Ruth? What? And she's like, all right, we're done. That's it. Thank you. Next. I thought I was going to fail. I thought I was going to drop out of the 6-month school. But then again, they were like, nope, Wells Fargo says you fucking graduate. We got to go with that.
Yeah, I don't think anybody fails. But did they have like equipment and stuff, or was it a total scam?
Yeah, they had equipment. I mean, they would shoot you on a green, but I mean, nowadays my equipment's probably more sophisticated than what they had us, working on. And then they'd show you like how to work on like ancient radio shit that no one even uses anymore, like when they use those knobs. There was like a radio thing where you actually had to like turn knobs for like a frequency and shit. And they're like, here, just in case you're ever in a radio station that has old equipment. It's like, come on. No one's doing this.
Do you have to like keep a logbook? They teach you that stuff?
They actually didn't, but I learned all that, as an intern. So I finished there, and I immediately applied for an internship with Free FM, because I figured I applied for Free FM and Sirius. And I heard from Free FM first, and I was really excited because it was pretty much, I had a good chance that I would get either Ron and Fez or Opie and Anthony. The other choices that I could have gotten were Radio Chick Nick DiPaolo, who had just started his like hour show. He used to go on after Jim Cramer.
Right.
And JV and Elvis. They were the other, and I had no idea about JV and Elvis because they were from like San Francisco. It's actually kind of sad. I think JV actually was found dead in the Bay a couple of months
Wow.
ago. He apparently was suffering some kind of depression or something.
Per the Aussie guy, Dave LaGreca.
Dave LaGreca. So the other one is Dom LaGreca. Yeah, so Dave LaGreca was Dom LaGreca's brother, but at the time, Dom LaGreca was known. So I would just ask Dave LaGreca questions about his brother, and I would call him Dom. He got so mad. I doubt he would ever remember me. I'd be like, is that what your brother did when he got into radio? Because I've never really heard of you.
It's Noga bought their car in Hasbrook Heights.
Well, that's fantastic. On Route 17, I'm sure. Lots of places to buy your car.
What's the other one? Auto World or something? Route 22?
Auto World.
Yeah.
Yes.
1-800 Auto World. 1-800 Auto World.
Yeah, 1-800 Auto World. Is that on 22? Or is that on 17?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, it's on 20. It's on 22.
Wow, we're getting local.
17 is where the accountant is, and I only go seeing him on Sundays.
Local NJ talk with Took and the Book. Buck.
Yeah.
Took and the Buck.
Well, we gotta fill in the and we have to fill in the NJ questions because people want to know. Mo Green, Terry Clifford got suspended for the same thing. Terry Clifford, isn't that one of the first Jocktobers that they did?
Yeah. She was that fat lady. What did she get suspended for though? I don't remember. I haven't listened to Jocktober in so long. Before the Dabbleverse, I used to just go back and replay all these old shows. And I haven't done that in quite some time.
So you spent the time recording these old shows?
No, I would get the archives and stuff. Like I was in the old O&A subreddit. Someone very early on. Well, I would just find stuff on YouTube, but Ron and Fez has always been on the Internet Archive database or whatever. So that's always been pretty available. And I downloaded it all. And I was just like, I want this stuff. And Ron and Fez is still the one show I always go back to. Like, if there's nothing on with the Dabbleverse, and even if there is, I'll check it out for a couple of minutes and probably get bored, and I'll go right to one of these Ron and Fez live streams. There's a guy, Mike Fingers, who does one, and then another guy, and I can't remember what it is.
I have some important questions that Stevie Lou gave me to ask you about Ron and Fez. But first, this guy has been begging me to come on with you. So I
you tricked me, Schmuel Buckman. Sticking it to Tookie? Who is this? Kevin Dumbfuck? Do your worst.
I told him we would. Johnny, you're on.
Hey. Hey, Tookie?
Yes?
This is Can't Come X, if you know who that is.
Can't Come X? No, I have no idea. I never heard of you.
I didn't think so.
Familiar.
But I want to tell you that I hear you've been talking to my man, Chad Zumach. That is my man.
With Z-Man.
That is my man. I hear you guys are friends.
Yes, we're best friends.
You're talking to my man. You don't have what it takes to keep Chad happy like I have.
Well, then
Tookie
do
has
it.
no idea who Johnny Buckman is.
I don't think so. Okay, bye.
Is this part of this show? I'm sorry. I'm a first time, no time.
This is.
I'm sorry.
I would have sworn that was a bit you knew.
I know. What was I supposed to do? Johnny Buckman say what? Was that what I was supposed to say?
Johnny, if you're listening, come pop there.
Johnny Buckman was just so you didn't see the name.
We put up Johnny Buckman because we didn't want you to suspect who it was.
Well, I know it's karmic. Like it's supposed to be karmic. I know you do the sniping of his streams.
And you don't know who that is, though.
Yes, it's Luigi.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
How would I not know? His
I really-
impression
wondering.
stinks.
You
His
just
I really
impression
expect-
sounds like Luigi
I've
going.
never seen a perplexed puppet before until tonight.
I really expected you to like go back and forth with the Chad thing.
No, I'm sorry. I'm not good at improv.
Okay, you're very
I'm
good
sorry.
at improv.
I'm not. Well, I didn't know if you did a special character because that's another thing. I know that you do the sniping, but I've never actually watched it.
No, that's fine. The only reason I had to say Johnny Buckman was because you would have seen me backstage.
All right, I'm sorry, Johnny Buckman.
Okay, bye.
I'm sorry. Oh, now can we do it again?
See you
No.
later.
All right, let's do it again.
Yeah, let's do it one more time. You'll come back in, but first,
Hey, I'm Johnny Buckman. Check me out.
Who?
Jay Dabbler for $3. Happy 9/11, guys. Good news. CK Shooter isn't black.
So they say. There was a black guy who got caught the other day, and they said he was using some kind of realistic white guy mask that looked like your face. You have one of those realistic white guy masks.
Wow. You know, whenever they do the black guy, remember like an Eddie Murphy used to do it? They would
Yes.
they would always pull up a face like mine. It would never be. So a classic Schmuel question. Have you ever seen the movie Watermelon Man?
Watermelon Man? No.
Godfrey Chambers? All right, that's got to go on your list.
Who?
And
That's Godfrey's last name, Chambers? Chad's
no,
friend?
it's the original Godfrey. He's
Oh,
long
Gilbert.
dead. Long dead. No, Godfrey Chambers. It's a black guy, and he starts the movie off as a white executive and eventually turns black
Oh, no.
during the movie. Called Watermelon Man. It's a great movie. I think you'll enjoy watching
Sounds
it.
so sad.
It might be positive for some people.
Sounds really sad to me.
I don't know.
I'll watch
you
it in
know.
reverse. So it's about a black guy who becomes a white guy. That sounds happier to me.
You're terrible. You're terrible.
You are. Look at
I
this
try to-
show.
I try to avoid all of this racism talk, and
What's wrong with
and
your
Shuli-
eyes?
and
Are you seeing
Shuli
a
talk-
ghost?
and
Are you
Shuli
seeing
talk-
a
I've
ghost?
been I've been getting all day the posts of how the Shuleys killed Charlie today or yesterday.
The
so-
Shuleys? No, it was the trans.
It was the trans.
Oh, I don't know. Who knows who it was?
That might
I
have
don't
been
assume it was the
yesterday.
Shuleys. Wasn't he on the side of the Shuleys?
Apparently, he was coming off the side of the Shuleys. and that's what
Uh-oh.
had him die.
I hate
Answer
to admit
the
it.
questions, Netanyahu.
I hate to admit it, but I knew of Charlie Kirk and I had seen videos of him, but I wasn't really a follower. But I respect 100% what he was doing. Anyone who's for total free speech is a friend of Tookie's. Not like Aaron Imholt and John Melendez, who want to censor everybody. Bastards. That's all Tookie has to say about that. That's all Tookie can say by law. His lawyers have told him not to say more.
Yes, and let's admit that John doesn't want to censor. He just wants to be paid for all that hard work he did.
Yeah, and he wants to be paid $850,000 now. Did you see that? He has also entered Kate Meany into the LOL suit.
Some people you just can't help from digging their holes deeper.
No one's safe. And he also keeps rewriting our interaction. Tookie thought he was going to get a gotcha moment, but he didn't. I just calmly stepped away from the frame. And then I waited till he shut his phone off. Then I said, you ain't go outside. Go outside. And even Kevin Brennan has to be like, John, I was right there. I saw the whole thing. He tricked you. And you were embarrassed.
Boy, and he could, like everything else, he just could have gone with it and had a good time.
No, he's too proud. That's the thing that's so funny about all this. That is just basically doing what John got famous for doing. And now John is very, like, that would be like, listen, I don't know, maybe in 30 years, some asshole kid is going to come up to me and say something that'll piss me off, and I'll do the same fucking thing. And then everyone will be like, hey, Tookie's a fucking hypocrite just like John. I don't know. But it's just, it's funny to me How he reacts like that. It's just so funny. And then to act like a tough guy. I mean, we were there all weekend. We were literally ashing in John's head on John's head. That's how close we were smoking cigarettes. Because there was only specific areas you could smoke that year. And one of them was directly behind John. And we just stood there and laughing, like, oh God, you see what we just did? And he's sitting there facing the other way. So all you see is the back of his stupid head. And he's like, oh, I would have beat the fuck out of these losers. And it's like, well, you didn't.
He wasn't beating the fuck out of anybody. And my first reaction to him when I saw him was I couldn't believe how short he was.
Yes. Yes, he's very, very small. But his head is very big. It's funny, I think Nasty Neil brought up the leprechaun. That's a fantastic comparison.
Get the giant head and the tiny body.
Yeah, like that big giant like almost a caricature like head. And then just a shit like a roast chicken for a body. He's weird. His chest is like he's like barrel chested. It's very strange to see John.
He's very oddly shaped. And have you ever seen the picture of him in the bagel place standing in line? He's got his face is like a 45-degree angle from his top lip down, and it's this very weird concave, and then pops out, and lots and lots of rolls.
He's definitely not as good looking as you. I will say that.
Well, it's always been hard to do, and we're roughly the same age, so
you and John.
There you go. John turned 60, right? I'm gonna be. I turned 64 this year, so yeah.
What?
So there we go. I know I look like I'm 80.
Yes. My God, what are you 60-year-olds doing to yourselves? But yes, John has been trying to tell us he's only 49 and turning 50. But we do know he will be 60 in less than a month.
60 is the new 50. There we go. And let's couple of super chats. Tio Hank, shocking odd when you meet him the first time.
That's not a super chat.
I know, it's just a regular chat. So I'm sorry, but I have to do the free chat because
what?
The poor chat.
I need to sign up for this. Wait, but you have a super tip? Why don't you promote your super tip? You have a super tip?
I do.
God, super tip used to be so cool. What the
It was so exclusive. I got in when the getting was good. So it's supertip.gg/Buckman, supertip.gg/Buckman. And you can choose voice, very poor voices, I might add, or a text tip. And yeah, it's funny. The audience, because it used to be much smaller, got used to me just going through the chat all night, and it's very interesting trying to move them over or to get them to donate, things like that. But there are great ideas out there. But I figure if I make more than Ray DeVito, I'm happy.
Are we doing that?
Professional comedian. I don't know. I don't really follow Ray's numbers, so I have no idea.
I have no idea either. I don't follow anyone's numbers. Well, sometimes. If I'm at least they're live viewer numbers. But money-wise, no. I don't pay attention to any of that.
Live viewer numbers, I will look at it, and I will also probably like 4 times a year look at the Playboard numbers just to find out comparisons. But that's also because Kevin is so into everybody else's money. When he keeps putting up his number one phone finger, I feel like I want to verify it. And then when he says he's number one, and you're like, well, he is behind 9 Japanese things. We're number one. Did you bring that home from Atlantic City?
Yes, of course I did.
I got like 4 of them. I left them in the hotel room. So there are now Colombian maids walking around the Borgata.
Well, you can't have Tookies.
We're number one. All right, so let's rock into some Stevie Lou questions. Is Dabbler stolen from One East Side Dave?
Yes. Next question. Okay, so here's the deal with El Horrible was a character I made in 2015. A local comic here died, and they had a tribute show for him.
And you stole his mask.
No. I was one of the open micers, and I had always wanted to do a character because I had always done okay on open mics, but I was getting kind of bored of it because I was never gonna take it seriously. When I moved to Colorado, I knew no one. I had a free slate, clean slate. And the way I would go out and meet people was by doing open mics because it was a fun way. I'm not a drinker, and I'm not into that scene. So I'd go to open mics and I'd talk to people and meet other comics. And you never know. You just want to meet other creative people. And so I started doing open mics, and they had this show for this comic who had committed suicide. And I had always wanted to do a character. And listen, I am the first to say Ron Fez is probably the top influence in my life. I think Ron Bennington is a incredible comedy mind, has an incredible comedy mind. He's an incredible broadcaster, like far superior to Howard Stern even. Like Howard Stern was great, and I listened to Howard Stern, longer than I was listening to Ron Fez. Now I probably have listened to Ron Fez longer, quite honestly. But so Ron Fez did a bit where Eastside Dave left the show and he came back as a masked wrestling character called the Midnight Rider, which was lifted from Dusty Rhodes doing that in the 80s or the 70s or whenever the fuck he did it. So I just wanted a character that stood out, and the first thing I could think of was a luchador character. And I just named it El Horrible, and I would just go up there as like a heel wrestler, and I would shit on Colorado, the other comics, the comedy scene in general. And I started just getting, people all of a sudden were like, okay, like this is funny. Like no one else is doing something like that in our little open mic scene, And I just kept doing it. And then when the Dabbleverse came around, I had quit comedy, I stand up. I hadn't done it in like a year. And I was like, oh, let me bring back that El Horrible character, because I had seen like Cardiff Electric and other people were kind of doing characters. And I was like, I can shit on John. And that's it. Here I am. Yay!
Yeah, I was just laughing when I heard Stevie Lou say that, because I'm like, no one's ever done a wrestling mask before.
That's what I'm saying. Like, even being a
And-
wrestling comedian, I knew I wasn't breaking ground. But in our stupid little group, like no one was doing anything like creative like that. And when you hang out with open micers, you keep hearing the same set over and over and over and over and over and over and over. No one ever changes their set because they think they're like at the cellar, and like this is like them working out their material for when they can finally go and do a set at the actual comedy club in town. Because there is one comedy club in town called Looney's. I've actually told Chad about that. He said he was going to get in touch with the owner. I know he has talked to him before because he knew his name. And but that's like the kind of club that would book Chad. Like they get like headliners or like Jamie Kennedy and Mick Foley and like Chris Farley's brother will headline there. They don't get big headliners because the big headliners just go up to Comedy Works.
Yeah, I didn't want to break it to Stevie about Midnight Rider was actually stolen from somebody else.
Well, he knows. Stevie's just busting balls. He knows.
Oh, I know. Was Fez's Niagara Falls, Ontario girlfriend, is that an old wrestling bit, or is that a Fez bit?
No, I think that's just a Fez bit. I mean, I don't know any wrestling thing that had that as a bit. It was just the whole thing. The whole thing that was great about Ron and Fez was when I first listened to Ron and Fez, I had this total different image of what they looked like. I kind of thought Fez looked like that. Who's that guy who has the infomercials where he wears the Riddler jacket with all the question marks on it?
Oh, Matthew something.
Matthew Matthew Lillard's the guy from Scream, but it's something like that. Right. Matthew Lanyard, something like that. I always thought Fez looked like some crazy, like, mad scientist guy, and Ron Bennington maybe looked like Joe Pesci. That's what I pictured these two guys looking like. And the fact that Fez was this flamboyant character, but they never outright would say he was gay, or he would always like, what? What do you mean? No. Like when they would bring up gay stuff. What were we talking about? Because there was a point to talk about why with
Niagara
Fez.
Falls, Ontario, Canada.
Oh, yeah. So
Fez.
that was just one of those things where it was like, when you would ask a friend in high school, like, hey, where were you last night? He was like, oh, I'm sorry, I was out with my girlfriend. I was like, what, girlfriend? You have a girlfriend? I was like, yeah, but, she goes to a different school. You guys don't know her. That's what Fez was doing when they would, like, bust on him about not having a girlfriend. And then all of a sudden he's like, no, I do. You don't know her. She lived in Niagara Falls, Ronnie.
Look who was our guest.
Liam is
Anybody
pedophile.
can show up here.
Thought he was dead. I
Liam
killed
is
you,
pedophile.
Potato. Stop playing that.
Liam is pedophile.
This is who's playing it, Liam. You'll notice that sound was not made on my show for the last couple of weeks. Go after him. He's the one who keeps doing it.
Like he said, you never know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. All right, another Stevie Lou, Ron, and Fez question. Shoot.
That's really my only Stevie Lou one.
Oh, that was the only one?
Fuck him, but I got Ron and Fez questions. This is, with the Niagara Falls thing, I heard another guy do that someplace. I think at a comedy club. And I made a comment to the guy, and he's like, it's an old wrestling bit. And I'm like,
oh, it could. I mean, it could be.
I always thought it was a Fez bit.
Yeah, I mean, that would be my first reaction is, the Fez girlfriend thing. But he definitely could have taken it from some kind of like AWA, NWA, because Fez was a big fan of wrestling when it was like all the territories and stuff. And there definitely could have been some kind of storyline. The Ron and Fez took a lot of storylines from wrestling. They were even in wrestling storylines, like at the, what was it, Bash at the Beach or whatever, the one where Hogan turned heel.
Right.
Fez actually wrestled in the pre-show before they went to television. He was in a tag team match against two women. I think he had a tag team partner, and Ron was his manager. And Ron was exactly like Cardiff Electric. He was limping to the ring with a cane, and he had this whole like limp as a work, and then he used the cane like classic Bobby Heenan type shit. And he accidentally hits Fez, of course, and then they roll Fez up for the pin. But yeah, man, like they were high into wrestling, and they said that was like one of the craziest nights because they were there when Hogan turned heel.
Right. When you did meet Ron and you did meet Fez, what was your reaction?
That Ron was smaller, that they were both very big men as far as girth, and Ron was much shorter than I thought he was, and Fez looked way different than I thought he would look. I don't even know if I knew what they looked like the first time I had seen them, because I never went to any of the WNEW events or the XM events because I was the only person I really knew. The bass player in my band in high school and through a couple of years after high school, he used to listen to Ron and Fez when they were on WNEW and then when they went to XM. But we never got around to actually going to any of the events or anything like that. But they were super nice. I didn't talk to them much. The one time I definitely remember was when Fez came back from his second heart attack because everyone was really excited that Fezzy was coming back. And I remember him coming because the radio chick used to go off the air. And then in that commercial break, we had to break down our equipment so that Ron and Fez's interns could set up their equipment, which was crazy because it was like Pepper Hicks, who's Chris Stanley, who's still their producer now. I think he might be their executive producer. He started the same year I did. We were in the same intern class, basically. I just happened to get picked for Radio Chick, and he was picked for Ron and Fez. And Dave was there. I don't think I ever saw that Pitsy, but I think I saw, I would see Lily. I would see Earl all dressed in black like a militia like a Black Panther militia.
Yeah.
And but they were very nice. But we had our group, they had their group. But sometimes I would stick around and kind of watch from the booth, because the great thing about the free FM studio was that it was Howard's old K-Rock studio, the one you saw on E. And the call screener and the interns would hang out in Robin's booth while the show was going on, because it was soundproof, and you could screen the calls and you could see what was going on the real show, because the real show was in Howard's studio, in the big studio, and we got to use Howard's toilet. I bet I used Howard's toilet and John has never used Howard's toilet. How about that? I'm throwing that one out there. I bet John has never used Howard's private K-Rock bathroom. Someone ask him, and if he says yes, he's a liar, and I want it reported to Howard Stern, because that was supposed to be locked. No one was to be in there. It was a very plain and boring bathroom. Nothing special at all. But their public bathrooms were atrocious. Everything they talked about on the Stern Show about those K-Rock bathrooms, absolutely correct.
The first time I met Ron, it was like, I think at a Christmas party. It was a Mexican place on 42nd. And
okay. I know they went to Bar 9 a lot.
They went to after. This is the first one that I went to, I think, was the Mexican place. Mm-hmm. Anthony used to do Bar 9 a bunch.
Yeah, I think Bar 9 actually just closed down too, or something.
Wow. But anyway, so I'm there and I meet Ron for the first time, and yeah, I expected him to be bigger, and he's maybe my height, maybe a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
But he looks like he could handle himself.
Oh, totally.
You're totally well, I shouldn't say you. I was totally nervous to walk up to him and introduce myself, thinking he was going to be like, "Oh, fuck off, boy," and not at all. He was like, just a really nice guy.
Yeah. No, I mean, I introduced myself the first time I met him, and just told him I was a big fan. Same thing to Fez, and I don't think they ever knew my name, but they would always say hi to me. Yes, I did sniff Robin's chair. No, I made sure to sit in all the chairs so that I knew that I was feeling the power of the Stern Show. No, the most interesting things about the studio to me were that studio had windows. It's just that Howard blocked them off. So that's why, because it was a TV studio and all that. So when I first walked in and I saw windows, I was like, whoa, what the fuck? Because you would see angles of them walking into the studio, and you would see it was all like these black walls, and some, then they had like a fake brick wall. And the most interesting thing, and I've said this before, was that they still had Howard's old board, and there was just the only button that I paid any attention to was a giant red button that just said "Look, Fred." And I was like, "What does that button do?" And they were like, "It does nothing." I was like, well, what did it used to do? And I don't think I ever got an answer. I have to imagine it was a button that signaled some kind of light in front of Fred to get his attention. But I never honestly got an answer. Ask your friend Shuli. You talk to Shuli, right?
Yeah, I can. I will.
I don't know if he's ever answered that question, but that's a question you can give him, because I don't know if I ever got the answer to that.
Was Shuli allowed close enough to see?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I might have seen this button, and Shuli's never seen that button. Yay!
Jesus, the accomplishments, buttons, toilets.
You're
just
a
winning.
rock star.
I'm
like the Forrest Gump of puppets.
So Ron and Fez, you follow them from sort of the beginning until.
I followed them from whenever they were I don't know when they started on NEW. Because I don't even know when Opie and Anthony started on NEW. But I know I was listening to them before 9/11, because I was listening in high school. I went to high school from 98 to 2002. So I was definitely listening to them in high school, because they used to do the nighttime show. And I remember I used to get McDonald's. I used to sit in the parking lot and just eat a McChicken and listen to the fucking Ron and Fez show. There was one episode I remember where my bassist roommate was actually on the show, because they invited people in to do wrestling finishing moves for some reason, and they could win something. And my friend's roommate did the pedigree to someone, and I've actually heard it on some of those live streams before. I was like, oh, there's Matt. I remember Matt. He did the pedigree. But yeah, they were just. It seemed like so much fun. That's my one regret, as far as being a fan of all this, is that I didn't participate while I was listening to it live. Because now I've heard the same shit so many times. It feels like I was there, but I know I wasn't. And I kind of wish I was.
I went to, I don't want to say a bunch of events, but definitely went to events. Was involved in the page that they had. Was it ronfez.net? I
There
don't
were
remember what.
millions. There was F the Bag. There was Full Blown AIDS. There was Whack Bag. There was ronandfez.net. There was Ron
I-
Fez. Then there was like ronfez.com. There were so many message boards. But that's what also attracted me to the Dabbleverse. Is the Dabbleverse is a lot like that old Ron and Fez show, where if you just turned Ron and Fez on in the middle of a show, you'd have no idea what they were talking about, because they'd be talking about bored people, but they would talk about them by their screen names. And you're like, is that someone from the show, or who is that? But then there were also main players. And there's a lot of that in the Dabbleverse, where, we talk about people that I'm sometimes like, do the audience even know who these people are? And they don't. But if you're that much invested into the Dabbleverse, you probably do, which is even more pathetic.
That was like my first use, really, like of webcams and stuff.
Were you on
like
Pal Talk?
I was on Pal Talk, but you'd also get to see, like, I never met Sheepy in person, but
Yes.
saw him online all the time.
See, that's the kind of stuff I would love to know, where all these people are. I know, because a lot of them surprisingly are dead. And I'm learning more and more about some of them. Like, I just learned that Franklin died. Franklin from Cypher Films, Dandy Candy.
Yeah.
And he's dead. And he apparently was a grandfather, which it's insane to me. He was black, though, so I kind of understand. Then Swiss Miss passed away a couple of years ago. Missy.
Really?
Yeah, they called her Missy or Swiss Miss.
Swiss Miss. I remember
Yes.
Swiss Miss.
She
Swiss
passed
Miss-
away.
She's in she plays
Sopranos.
a stripper in this episode of The Sopranos.
Yes, the episode where who's that girl who wanted to buy property from Tony? I don't know if it was in the last season, I think. She's like a very famous actress. But yeah, her character comes into the Bada Bing to negotiate with Tony about purchasing this like chicken shop or butcher or something. And Swiss Miss is like on the stage dancing. Frenchie, the Frenchie, she's dead. Frenchie is dead.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. Fred from Brooklyn now has cancer.
Right.
I think stage 4.
Follow Fred on Fred's doing ivermectin now.
Yes.
Some crazy thing.
Yeah. And we hope all the best for Fred. But hopefully he's talking to Dr. Steve or something. Because, I think he's not going the traditional route or something. But, again, it's whatever he wants to do. I'm just a big fan of him. And he has no idea who I am. And then, I don't know. There's I'm sure there's others that I can't think about. But I would love to know, where's Sheepy now? Where's Bobo? Bobo was a guy.
Oh, the different Bobo.
Yeah, there's a different Bobo. They had a Bobo that they met in JFK, and he was an artist.
Right. So that's the Bobo that made the painting out of hair.
Yes, of Fez.
Of Fez, and he gave it to Fez.
Yes,
and,
when I am poor Bobo baby. Yes.
So and he, what do you call it? Fez was mortified.
Yes.
And Bobo was hurt. But Bobo was a strange dude. He left New York to go to Vegas and was busking on the streets.
He was?
Mad at everyone, yeah.
Where'd you hear that? I never heard that. Well, I know he was
to him.
Are you talking about the same? That's the same Bobo?
Yeah.
Because I thought he was always in like the Baltimore area or Washington D.C. and never moved to New York.
You're talking about Elfish?
No, Elfish is a different guy. That's the one Fez went to Graceland with.
Okay, so I met Bobo, and he might have been I used to talk to him. Not
Bald,
person.
big guy.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
was carrying
yeah.
around an instrument, most likely.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no, that's the guy.
that's the
I didn't
Bobo that
know.
went to Vegas.
I didn't know he lived in New York. I know him and his wife got
No,
divorced.
I don't think he did live in New York. I
Oh,
think
you
we
just
met
met him
like
in New York.
online. We met at one of these things and then we talked online and used to
Oh,
talk by
gotcha.
phone and text back and forth and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. His whole thing, if I remember correctly, was something happened at an event and Club Soda Kenny did
Yes.
something, made him move or something,
Yeah. So
and
they
Ron didn't back him up.
so they were doing it on Mask, I believe, with Jim Norton, and Bobo was there, and he was sitting in the audience, and I guess Opie came behind him. And Bobo is one of those guys who keeps his keys on a chain that kind of hang on the side of his pants. And
Right.
I guess Opie, while the show's going on, just kind of jingled his keys and was like, "You have a lot of keys, sir." And Bobo apparently has no cartilage in his arm and he had neck problems, so he couldn't really turn around to see who it was. And I guess then they had a question and answer thing. And when he got up, he turned around and went, "Oh, it was you, Opie." And he put his hand on Opie's like shoulder to say, like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was you." And at that moment, apparently Club Soda Kenny grabbed his arm where he has no cartilage and twisted it and brought Bobo to his knees. And then Crazy Jen called in to report on it because Bobo didn't want to cause any trouble. But Crazy Jen's another one. I heard Crazy Jen wrote a children's book and it was actually kind of successful. But again, I don't know if any of that's true. I would love to know more about these people. I don't know if Dr. Steve keeps in contact with any of those people, but
He might. Like the whole group of people that I used to follow and stuff blew up when Dave's marriage blew up.
yeah. Oh, you mean it ended?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it was like she was cheating or with somebody, and then
Yeah,
there
like
was
one
all
of the
sorts of
guys from the
stuff about
show, like one of the friends from the show, allegedly.
right. And there was like the Munchausen by proxy thing with the kid where she was raising money for Stan.
Oh no. See, I never got that. I never even really heard of those allegations, but I knew his kid was always sick.
Yeah, his kid was always sick and she was always going places and always asking for money
Oh
and stuff like
no.
that. And
She got bit.
I guess I guess in the end it turned out he was okay. There was nothing really wrong with him.
No
But they
fucking way.
yeah, and their
I didn't know
diagnosis
this.
yeah, she had like pyloric ingestion, like some disease that affects like, 1 out of 10 million kids, and they would have to go to Boston and they go to all these different doctors and there would
Yeah, I
never be
remember
any
all that. That's
conclusion.
basically one of the reasons that Dave ended up leaving, like cuz he was always out with his kid and medical things and then they wouldn't give him a raise and he had to travel from Jersey because his family was in Jersey, so it was easier for him. Man, that is so weird to hear because I feel like yeah, if he wasn't going through all that crap with his kid at the time, maybe he would have stayed, but yeah, man, she was seems like she was a real fucking lunatic.
Yeah, piece of work.
I saw a video during COVID because I guess she had some kind of like shop in Asbury Park or something, and she got big, like
She's
real
still
big.
here.
I don't know. I don't know if she still has it in Asbury Park. This was like during COVID. It's some kind of like
she was
consignment store.
attractive at the time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but I'm telling you, like she got big.
Really big. Well, I'm gonna have to run
Yeah, I don't
down
know.
to the convention center and see if it's there.
Yeah, it was some kind of consignment store. I'd be shocked if it still was. But you can Google it. There was some kind of interview she did. I'm sure if you just put Casey, her last name and all that shit, in consignment store Asbury Park, you'll find it.
He got yeah, but it was like all of a sudden it was like one day you're just chit chatting with people, and then the next day you're choosing up sides, but you don't know what
Yeah.
happened or which side to be on or
Well, that's what's so
and
crazy. Yeah, because that whole thing was going so strong, so strong. And yeah, I think once Dave left, that killed all the board stuff. And I always wonder, like, what will be the thing that really, truly ends the Dabbleverse? Like, where all this breaks off. People aren't really doing weekly shows anymore. I don't know. Or does it go on forever?
Is there? Well, you said that I heard you were talking about this, where people were talking about radio shows being formulas, and you made a comment, if I'm correct, about people in the Dabbleverse you thought were just putting formulas together and then putting up shows. Do you remember
Formulas.
that?
No. I'm trying to think. But
You were
yes,
talking
you're
about
right. It sounds very intelligent. So yes, you're right. I probably said that.
you were talking about a lot of there's a lot of streams now, and
Yes.
and what you're seeing is you see some of these guys that are able to just put a formula in place, and they're able to make a little bit of money, which then gives them hope,
Oh yeah.
which is stupid.
Well, no, I mean, but that's what That's what I think a lot of this starts with. Listen, I don't want to discourage anyone from trying. I think everyone should try. I mean, that's how we get more people. I mean, look at Karmic X. He was just a listener, and then he went live. It could have totally bombed, and no one would have cared. But he had something where everyone was like, "Oh, wait a minute, I'll at least stick around for this for a little bit." I mean, now it's kind of getting exposed. I think a little bit that he really has nothing to talk about unless he's like talking to the haters and about his own life and stuff. Eastside Dave did not stink. That
Yeah,
Eastside,
no,
those Eastside Dave
but
Earl years of Ron and Fez were some of the
right.
best radio ever, and that's why that's the one thing I go back to. I've listened to these bits hundreds among thousands of times.
Well, that's what's so funny is like you got the one guy, David R. Fuller, saying Eastside Dave was awesome. Then he self-sabotaged, and then Guru won. Eastside Dave sucked. Eastside Dave was an integral part of that show.
He was
And
incredible, and he was there at the right time. He was there just as Fez started having his breakdowns, and he was the one guy I feel that could legitimately make Ron laugh. Like Ron, you could tell when Ron is not a kind of guy who laughs at everything. Like Ron would hate the Dabbleverse because we all laugh at each other constantly. Because his belief is, how could you laugh at something you said when laughter's supposed to come from surprise? And you could tell that Eastside Dave really caught him off guard at times with the shit he said. And he would legitimately belly laugh at Eastside Dave. Like that's why I think Ron doesn't so much try anymore. Because I think he realizes, what am I gonna do with my daughter and this team of, well, I love Chris Stanley, but I mean, like with Earl and all these guys, it's like, what is he going to do? He knows he's not going to get the same kind of entertaining radio he could get with a guy like Dave, but they'll never let Dave back up in Sirius for some, because of all the stupid shit he said. But yes, he's absolutely right. Dave did self-sabotage in that way as well.
yeah, his ending was also
Right, because he went
self-sabotage.
after. He said he was going to go after Opie, and that was also Dave's thing, because he would go, "This fucks copy me, Stillman thing. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. You're not safe. I'm gonna get and you knew he wasn't serious, but I guess in the wake of the world that we live in, they have to take every threat seriously, and I believe Eastside Dave is still blacklisted from Sirius. I have
Really?
no idea.
I don't know either. He was down here at the shore. I'm right by Asbury Park, and he was, what do you call it? And he was
Long
down
Branch.
here on the Rat
Yes,
for
WRAT
really long time.
97.1.
Yeah.
Is it 97.1?
Yes.
Right. Yes, the Rat. Dave and Carl. And apparently Dave hates Carl now because he's not on that show anymore, right? Dave is not on?
Dave's not on the air anymore now.
Yeah, now I don't understand what Dave is. I don't watch. I try and watch the Davey Max Sports program when I can, but it's depressing to me that he gets no live viewers. And I've expressed to Dr. Steve, Dave would kill it here in the Dabbleverse. And I would love to do stuff with Dave. Because again, he was like one of my greatest inspirations. Like, I'm not going to deny it. Like, I love it.
He's doing a show now with Aaron Berg.
Yes, which I found to be incredibly weird.
And I haven't. Yeah, it's a weird connection. I haven't seen it.
I haven't either, because I don't know what I would care about what Aaron Berg. I don't know. Aaron Berg seemed like he was really funny on In Hot Water with Gino at times, but I don't know.
I really liked. I like Berg. I still like Berg. Berg's a great, and he's also a great performer. And
He kicked
he's
my
another
ass.
one that went after Pat Dixon. Mahmoud Hikmet. Look at this. Once the novelty wears off, these types of creators they start to turn their own lives into content. That is that feedback loop is bad when they run out of ways to escalate.
He's right.
Uh, Karmic, Steel Toe, Chad.
Right, because then your whole life is the only content. And if you're just sitting around doing nothing, what the fuck is your content? So then it just becomes fighting with other people. Also, if anyone knows Comedy Shaman, can you check on him? Because he put out a really disturbing video earlier today, which was basically a no. And he said he
Wow.
doesn't even know if he's going to wake up in the morning. So this is Tookie's call to action. If anyone knows Comedy Shaman, check on him. I don't know him personally, but he did. I don't even know if the video's still there.
Did you see what I did to Charlie Kirk in Utah? It was a short trip from the roof to I-80.
Son of a bitch,
Thank you, Kinky Loco, for that.
I knew it. Oh, Kinky Loco says he's okay. Okay. Well, that's good.
Cool. Thank
at
you.
least so far. But it's not tomorrow. He said he might not wake up tomorrow, Kinky Loco. Right now doesn't count.
Maybe it'll be tomorrow where he is. Comedy Shaman is replying in Discord. And
oh, that's fantastic.
Discord.
I just wanted him to know
that
Tookie saw his message, did nothing about it for about 8 hours, and is now telling other people that maybe someone should check on him. So Tookie did his good deed for the day. Yay!
It's just on the Dave thing. When Dave got the Compound, right, and he did his show on Compound, I feel like he didn't have Ron's direction.
Right.
That's why I think the thing went off the walls. Like,
he
needed direction. And not like anybody had direction at Compound.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think Dave is a host of a show. I don't even think Tookie is a host of a show. Like, I think we would be better as sidekicks and just the guy who just says funny shit. Like a Chad Zumach role in a show. El Harible I like hosting as, because I don't know why I feel like it's different, but for some reason it is. I also can't imagine that people watch a puppet for 5 hours, but I guess they do.
And when you just talked about Tookie and El Harible as two different people, my mind was blown.
Well, they are. I kind of think of them as two separate characters. I mean, they have similarities and stuff, but I see El Harible as a host of a show, and I see Tookie as kind of more of a like the comedic talent, I guess. I don't know.
Wow. And without, I don't want to leave him out, but
I'm sick. I'm schizophrenic.
Earl Douglas was he lived in my neighborhood, and I used to Black Earl. I used to see Black Earl, and I used to listen to him on the radio, and I'd always be like, "How do they put up with him? How do they put?" And that was the thing. Like, Ron seemed to have this like infinite amount of patience for certain people. He certainly did for Fez.
Yes, he has a loyalty too, I think, to certain people in his life. You could tell very early on. I think he saw a lot of himself in Chris Stanley, which is the reason why Chris Stanley, I believe, is still there. Along with the fact that Chris Stanley is incredibly talented. I think Chris Stanley is a great producer. He's funny on the mic. I've loved Chris Stanley. So there was a time period where I didn't listen to Ron and Fez and Opie and Anthony live. It was probably actually a couple of years, and I was just listening to Stern because I only had Sirius and I didn't have XM. And after my house fire, I got the XM package again because I was like, fuck it. I have nothing else right now. I have my car and my computer. That's pretty much all I have. I'm going to get the XM. I'm going to start listening to Ron and Fez again. And it was Ron and some other guy. Because I had totally kind of forgotten about Chris Stanley. And I was like, that's not Fez. Who is this guy who's constantly talking to Ron? And it was Chris Stanley. And it was fantastic. But yeah, Ron does have that kind of loyalty. And that's why I think Ron does the show he does now. Because like I said, he knows he's not going to do the same radio he did with Ron and Fez. He's not going to do the same radio he did with with Eastside Dave.
Right.
He has a loyalty to Earl and Chris Stanley. I think he sees them as family. And then, of course, his daughter, his talentless daughter, that he just puts up because he wants to make sure that her talentless ass can make a living when he's gone. And that's where I think Ron is.
She does have a radio voice, right? She's got a
Yeah.
very pleasant voice.
Yes, that's
So-
about it.
You know, this goes back a long time, but I think if I remember correctly, Chris Stanley's mom was killed in a Con Ed accident.
Yes, remember
When the pipe blew
the
up?
pipe blew up. Yes, she
Right?
happened to be right there in the area, and she wasn't hurt by the pipe explosion. She was hurt by the stampede of people running from the pipe explosion. She ends up dying a couple of years later. Chris Stanley apparently got some fat settlement check, and he's living a great life. He goes on vacations a lot. He has his dream job. He still lives, I believe, in the same apartment that he grew up in, basically, because it's rent controlled. So he like pays like whatever his parents were paying years ago for rent there. If he still lives there, I have no idea. Like I said, I wanted to hear the Bennington break that they did last week about Franklin, because Franklin died like during COVID. And they never mentioned it on Bennington. The only reason they mentioned it last week is because someone in the Ron and Fez subreddit figured it out. They were like, I was going down a Franklin rabbit hole and I looked him up and it looks like he died. And they had to admit, yeah, he's been dead.
Wow.
But I haven't heard that break because no one clips Bennington. And no one even bothers to put Bennington anywhere on the internet to get it for free.
I honestly don't know. I think I might have heard it once or twice. And that was it, just to hear what it sounded like. But
I wanted to love it. I really did, but it's just, it sucks because, you know, but that's why I think the Dabbleverse draws so many of these people in, because I know after, you know, Ron and Fez was done and Opie and Anthony was done and Howard Stern had already been done once Eric the Midget died, I was looking for something else. And that's when I found WATP and changed my life.
so, you know, not that you would remember, but I think when Ron and Fez first came to New York, to NEW, they came as ronandfez.com.
Yes,
And-
ronandfez.com.
And the
Because they
whole,
were hoping to be a part of the .com boom.
right, well, the gimmick was to engage with the people.
Yes.
And that's like, look, I don't want to say it started the trend, but for me, it certainly started the trend of getting involved in these radio shows and thinking of people as people and meeting other
100%.
people.
They were way ahead of their time with that kind of stuff. Like I'm saying, they incorporated the boards, like we incorporate the chat. The message boards were basically their chat. Like I
Right.
know Opie and Anthony had that instant
Well, they had
whatever.
Pal Talk.
They had Pal Talk. They had all that other crap.
Here's Moody throwing out a spike strip. This is unrelated, but Kirstie Alley's mom died in a car crash when she was on her way to an odd couple costume party. She was in blackface. Her husband was dressed as a KKK member. Not a joke.
I've heard that story.
Moody, I need more voices.
That is an odd couple. But yeah, they were way ahead of the time because they were actually doing simulcasts of stuff. They were basically doing snipe streams, but of popular things on TV.
Right.
Like they would watch TV shows or events that were happening live on the radio. So you could watch it along and hear them comment on it, which
Now
is a
that you
lot like
say
what
that,
we do.
Didn't they do that with the Osbournes?
Yeah, they used to do it with the Osbournes.
And that was like what made I had zero interest in Ozzy Osbourne, and that was what made it interesting.
Yeah, they used to watch like award shows. They would like if something big was happening on TV while they were on or something, they would watch it, and then you would watch on TV and you would hear the comments, and it's a lot like, you know, what we do here. It's fascinating how this has all evolved into this.
I feel like they started a snipe stream and then told that they weren't allowed to do a snipe
That's
stream. And then
bullshit.
they had like alternate ways and
That's bullshit. Everyone knows the Mud Sharks started sniping.
yeah.
I invented it.
He invented everything 2 days after everyone else.
I was crapping on Chrissy Mara before the rest of you.
Affy, I liked Jocktober. Would anyone care for a show you don't know anything about?
Why would anyone care? Because it was fascinating. It was fun to goof on them. And again, the audience participation, like as they would see their Facebook page start to crumble and all that
Right.
kind of shit. It was funny.
But that stuff, like, and it's funny because how that stuff came together, right? Because with Sam Roberts bringing that stuff, Sam bringing the Scorch stuff,
Yes.
because they had talked about Scorch before, right? The Kingdom of Nakedness and some stuff in Boston,
Mm-hmm.
but they never did anything with it. And then Sam had the stories of working with Scorch. Um, I'm sure Opie's going to deny it, but I think Sam's idea was the Jocktober idea.
Mm-hmm. I think so too. Yeah, I think so too. Opie would say it was like a collective thing, I'm sure. But we know, even if it wasn't Sam's idea, Sam did all the work. We know that. Because he would be the one who would have to watch all these shows and clip them. I mean, Sam was the original clipper, if you think about it.
Yeah.
But no, come on. You had to love Jocktober. There was no one else doing anything like that. And it was fascinating because they would expose radio bits for what they are. Do you know how hard I crushed my aunt's heart when I told her War of the Roses wasn't real? She loved Goomba Johnny. She was like, Goomba Johnny's lying to me? I'm like, yes, he is. Another fantastic man, by the way. Goomba Johnny is one of the classiest guy. If Sid Rosenberg is a giant piece of shit stuck to my shoe, Goomba Johnny is an angel. He's one of the nicest men I've ever met in this business, period. I'll never say a bad thing about that man because he's fantastic.
My lovely wife attended Villanova, as you can tell by the hat. And when we started
Villaroma? They have a school?
Started dating, she had a CD in her car of a comedy bit of some Philly radio station. I don't remember what it was. And she would laugh and laugh and laugh. And I'd be like, oh, I've heard this all before. You know, they're fake, right?
Mm-hmm.
And don't tell me. I don't want to know.
Yeah, I've crushed a lot of people by telling them that the prank phone calls they hear on the radio are normally fake, usually fake.
And Mahmoud Hikmet. Moody, I've added Joey C and Karmic X. You're welcome. Hey, thank you, Moody. I really appreciate that.
Do the work, Schmuel. Get your own voices.
Cool. To be honest, I have not bothered anyone with super tips at the company. I've worked everything out on my own since I sent Patrick an email and got a scathing response, which then generated him issuing me an apology on his show, which I thought, which was pretty funny. But yeah, it's like catch Patrick on the wrong day. Beloved chatter, Tookie, does talking to Schmuel make your hand fall asleep faster?
Yes. Worst 9/11 ever in the history of 9/11s. Today, 9/11, 2025, will go down as the worst 9/11 ever.
I'll let you go. I'll let you go in like about 10 minutes.
Son of a bitch.
But I had told you I wanted to talk about Ron and Fez because that was an important part of my radio experience. I was into Opie and Anthony. Used to listen to Opie and Anthony every day, but at night for some reason was when I had this time.
Yes.
To just and I became involved in like Fez's ongoing saga, and then getting pissed off at Ron for not doing anything about it, and then not listening for a while, and
Billy Staples. Billy Staples was a more charismatic John Melendez. If you think about all the parallels with Billy Staples and John Melendez, it's kind of incredible. They both claim to have wrote for Jay Leno. They were both call screeners, both enormous drunks with drug problems, both had horrible relationships with their kids, both thought they were way more famous than they actually were. It's fantastic.
But Billy turned John early in his life.
Schmuel, do you want to let Moody know who made this comment?
Probably you.
Yeah, yes. I described you as Casper the Ghost if he never died as a boy. That's what I said, because you do. You look like an old Casper the Ghost.
You usually just dismiss me as the ghoul.
Yeah, but once I came up with that Casper the Friendly Ghost analogy, I was like, that's perfect.
You're like, the old guy, just ignore him. I was in some clip, and you're like,
And he's
they
just
were like, who's that? You're like, just ignore that ghoul.
Yes. No,
yeah.
I said I want a trigger warning because you look like a mollusk. So I wanted to make sure that, but you talk. So I didn't want people to get scared. As far as I know, yes, Billy Staples is still alive. But I know he had a GoFundMe for like some kind of heart operation. I'm sure he's not doing well. But as last I heard, he's alive. But the last I heard before last week, Franklin was alive. Little did I know he's been dead for like over 2 years. But Billy Staples was probably my favorite producer after Eastside Dave with the Ron and Fez show.
I kept in touch with Billy after he left the show.
Did you call him?
Yeah,
is he alive?
No, I have no idea. I haven't talked to him in years for a while. But he was just like, he had a car accident, and then
he's
he
a
was
mess.
taking medication, and it just got to be like, this guy's he's just got a problem. Remember him selling his Christmas album?
Yes. Fuck. What was the name of the stupid band?
The guy's name was Bond, right? The guy that he did it with.
Yeah, Paul Bond or something. I think
Paul Bond. Yeah.
Paul Bond. But the band was if I heard it, it's not Crankshaft. Who's Crankshaft? But Billy Staples, Christmas. Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember what the band was.
I feel like he heard Artie Lang joking about that Artie liked the Elf because Artie was Santa Claus in that for a while.
Right.
That every year it funded his lifestyle because of all the money he got from it. And that was like, that Christmas album was Billy Staples' Elf.
Yes, he tried.
Every year pull that out and he would try to sell that to you. But he was like basically selling it door to door. You get a text, do you want to buy it?
Stevie Lou, Al Dukes was not better than Billy. You're insane. Al Dukes was good, but he was not better than Billy Staples. Billy Staples also blamed all his problems on having diseases, like his gambling addiction, his drug addiction, his drinking. It was all because he was the victim of a disease. That's what always made me laugh. He could never take responsibility for all the shit that was happening in his life. It was always someone else, just like John. His filthy XXX Miss album. But they had a name. Their band was they had a name, and I don't remember it.
I'm trying to look it up.
I've heard it so many times too, and
I know because it'll come to you like a half an hour.
Right? Yeah, it'll come to me later.
And Stevie, we're not gossiping. We're bringing these people back from the from the dead, basically.
Yeah, we're talking about them.
Nobody's heard about them. And
Stevie, come on, set the record straight.
Fuck off.
I gotta go anyway.
All right, no, we do have to wrap it up. I do. We move on from the Ron and Fez stuff. So I think we hit everybody, right?
Yes, we smashed everyone. No survivors. They're all going to talk about this show. They're going to talk about this 9/11 more than any other 9/11 in the history of 9/11s.
All right. How do you like teamed up with stand-up comedian Paul Bond to create Airsick Productions?
Airsick! That's what it was, Airsick. I was saying Crankshaft. Same amount of syllables, I think.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable that we could look it up.
It's fantastic.
All right. So the realist Stevie Lou, you talk about it. I lived it.
But I never heard anyone ever talk about Stevie Lou during the message board days. Where were you, Stevie?
I don't remember. And I remember.
What was your name on the message board?
Solera, Irish Alky.
Right, Solera, Irish Alky, Sheepy, Fred from Brooklyn. Did you ever hear Stevie Lou?
Yeah, I didn't know Stevie Lou until
Eastside Dave, Compound Media.
And that was the only thing I knew about them was tossing the desk.
Yes. Like a rabid animal.
Well, he invented tossing the desk.
Like a rabid ginger fox with mange. Going through that. entire studio that makes me sick. Destruction.
All right. So let me get you because I know you got to go. I got to ask this last question.
No.
I hear you've been talking behind my back about my gambling crap skills.
Yes, you do nothing. And for some reason, you had the luckiest roll, 53 rolls, I believe it was.
And how much did I start with?
I don't know. How much did you start with? 100?
200.
200. And what'd you cash out? I know it was over 3,000.
35.70.
35.70. And let me tell you, this man never pushed the button. The machine was constantly yelling at him, "Come on, push the button. Come on, push the button." And Schmuel didn't ever push the button. The button's on a timer. So it would just pop. And he rolled 53 numbers straight without rolling a 7.
And I did that strictly because it annoyed everyone and nobody was sitting near me.
I just hate that I was in on that bubble craps for a little bit, and then I took a break because I was losing, and then I come back, and you're like, yeah, 30th roll or something. I'm like, motherfucker, if I just stayed I would have made so much money because I'm constantly pressing my bets. I'm such a degenerate.
I know, but I was. My thing was about winning. You know, that's really what I wanted.
I know, but you could have won so much more. You won. I mean, listen, it was impressive. But with 53 rolls like that, you would have made me so much money, Schmuel. We would be married right now. You have no idea.
You'd have been like the guy behind me when I learned to play craps in Atlantic City who kept telling me to put down bets and then wanted a piece of my winnings.
What?
I paid you.
Yeah, I don't do that. That's insane.
I told you how to do that. No, I'm kidding. But that was I even made Annie cry that night.
Yes.
Your mom came up to me. And
she yelled at you for yelling at
No,
Annie?
she comes running up to me. She's like, "What did you do?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Annie's in the other room crying. You made her cry.
Yeah, but in all fairness, Annie, I was there. Annie sat down, had no idea how to play craps, and she's asking all these questions. Meanwhile, we all have like money out, and we're focusing on our money. And didn't she like reach over and maybe even touch your screen or something?
Who's pressing the button? Like, what is
yeah.
this? What is that?
Yeah, Annie was like, "What does this part of the screen do?" Well, it's touch screen, so whatever you touch, it puts money there, Annie. Yeah.
That's one of those
I don't blame you.
Never come in.
I don't blame you for that. And I remember that because I was like, "Oh, that was a tough situation." Because Annie was just Annie's like, "Oh, hello." And like, "Oh, how do you play? Show me. What does this do?" And it's like, "Annie, we have like hundreds of thousands of dollars. Not hundreds of thousands, but we have hundreds of dollars out. We'll explain later."
Well, I was like, sometimes it was probably like 250 to 350 a hand, maybe 400. So any mistake was like a big mistake.
Right.
And
no, I got it. I understood.
And then people wanting to press the button. That was it was amazing to me how people who wouldn't play craps on a bet, no pun, would like, you have to press the button. You have to press the button.
Come on, push the button.
It's so annoying. And the only but I had Ghost Party playing in my head the whole time. So
Ghost Party.
That kept me away from it. But I was it was so annoying. And it was part of why I did it. But what happened was, I sat down earlier and I saw a black guy doing it. And he was annoying people, but he was also hitting numbers.
Yeah, he's hitting numbers. Yeah, I mean, hey, if it works.
I'm like, oh, let me give this a try.
Right.
And I have no idea if there's a difference between the two, to be perfectly honest.
There's not. It was just an incredibly lucky streak. But I've never seen anything like that. And I still curse this day. Why didn't I just sit down 20 minutes later than when I originally did? Because I think I was down like $800 and I was just like, all right, I got to take a break. And I literally come back and you are rolling more than I've ever seen someone roll in my life.
Mahmoud chat of the night. Moody, Ghost Party made Schmuel more money than Karmic.
It's true.
That's the greatest.
It's true. All right, I got to get out of here. Schmuel, this was torture.
Thank you so much, my friend. I really I enjoyed it, and I'm glad we got into this stuff. And I will see you soon. If not before, I'll see you in Atlantic City.
Yes, Super Bowl. The 3rd annual NLO / Tookie Soup Super Bowl live from the Borgata Hotel and Casino the weekend of the Super Bowl, whenever that is.
And Rocco will be
Who?
there. Patrick
Yes.
will be there, and the sorcerer brings cookies.
Yeah, Sorcerer brings cookies. Kevin Brennan apparently is jumping on to our event. He's glomming on
You mean
because, of
his
course,
event?
our
His event
event.
that we stole, right?
Stop it. This is our event,
I know. I'm 100%.
which is not an event. Don't come expecting a show. And if you don't play poker, you might not see me and Patrick much at all. So
And-
if you want to play poker, come to the poker room and let's all get a table and sit with each other.
right. And next time when you come, bring a Schmuel with you in case your arm gets injured again.
Yes.
We can get you immediate treatment.
I'm just glad I could have given what Chad Zumach called, quote, the greatest moment of his life, end quote, to hit a puppet five times.
You did wind up going to urgent care, right?
Yes. He totally destroyed my gluteus to the maximus.
So he was not fucking around. He was.
Mm-mm.
That was.
Oh no, he was definitely hitting Tookie. Like he was hitting my hand. I mean, in reality, he's hitting my hand. But he was trying. I'm not gonna say he was pulling his punches, but he was trying. And at the time, I'm like, I guess I could throw him out this window, or I could just let him have this moment and make it the greatest single moment in his life.
Yeah.
So
It was not until this moment that I connected the urgent care visit to the injury in the hotel room.
yeah, see,
Because
no,
I just thought he was messing around.
urgent care was after Hackamania when I had my fat pad melted away or something.
Oh, I thought in Atlantic City somebody wound up going to urgent care for something.
Oh, in Atlantic City?
Yeah.
No.
Whatever. I'm old. I
No,
could be
Michaela brought the gun to Vegas and
Right.
shot Misfit, and he had to
And
go to the
And
hospital in
Sketty Tooth
Vegas.
John had a full-length mirror delivered.
Please, I don't even. We need to make this announcement. If the Plaza Hotel could get some more lamps and maybe up the voltage in their lights, it would make the men's trip way better because it would make the women's trip better. That was the biggest complaint by women, was that the lighting in the bathroom area of the plaza was garbage. I too had to go out and get light bulbs from the
How am I supposed
Walgreens.
to put my makeup on?
Yes. I was like, oh no, we didn't think about this when we were planning everything else. But
So-
yeah, I had to go to Walgreens and get more powerful light bulbs so we could put the lamp that was in the living space in the bathroom area.
I told my wife to go down to the bingo floor. They had great mirrors and clean bathrooms there.
That's true, they did, and a lot of light. So
Good night.
anyway,
Good night, Tookie. Rocco.
Good
Thank you
night.
so much for coming on, and I really appreciate it. And
no problem. TookieSoup.com. Love you all more than a friend.
Consider me a ball washer. Any other plugs? So
Yay!
you're usually
my balls.
Saturday mornings. Be Dabbler hosts a show at.
Yeah, that's the most consistent time slot I would say in my life is Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. East. Sometimes I can't do it on a Saturday morning, and I try to make it up on the weekend. And then Tookie Soup is usually Tuesday nights. I don't have a set time, and sometimes I don't even do that. But the most consistent one would be Dabbling Live on Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. East. And go to TookieSoup.com for everything. And love you all more than a friend.
Good night, my friend. Thank you so much. That was Mr. Tookie, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope you all enjoyed the show. We tried to divert you a little bit from the events of the day and what happened 24 years ago. So there we go. And any last comments here? So Tookie is just he's great. And fuck you people that say I wash his balls, because he's an amazing talent, and we're very lucky that he found us and then we found him, among other things. In any event, I am going to say good night. Hey, hit the like button. Please make sure you're subscribed. The show will be up in replay, and the chat will be replaying too. And I would hope that you'd like it over there and leave a comment, tell your friends. Thank you to Cigarette for helping us out tonight. as usual, our chat very professional, very adult, very mature. So thank you guys. Thank you so much. I really enjoy that. Affy, now that the puppet is gone, the real show can start. Um, it's always I have like some Charlie Kirk stuff and things I wanted to do, but I don't think I will do it tonight. But I am going to leave my computer on. I'm going to go out in the backyard, drink a soda, smoke a cigar, and it's always possible I could pop on later. So set your notifications to all so you can see when we're going live. Please subscribe, tell your friends, like the show, and I'm going to be starting to do so. We do Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 o'clock, Saturday night at 11 with the backyard stream, which is no topic, and we just talk shit for a bit. And hopefully that is your pre-Clown Town. And I'm going to start doing some random hours by myself during the week at odd times. So if you catch those will be great. If you know, watch them live, watch them on replay. But old Schmuel needs to learn how to do this solo. And like they say, the best way to do is to do. So what they really say is the best way to learn is to do. But I'm an idiot and it's late at night. Um, so yes, we will call them pop-up streams. Thank you, Cigarette Jones. Hey, and seriously, thanks to Cigarette, because without him, this really wouldn't be possible. And you guys certainly wouldn't be possible without the viewers. And I am honored that you chose to spend some time with me. And I know you're really here for Tookie, but there's got to be a few of you. So more than one, and one that I haven't had to pay. So that's great. All right, guys, have a great night. We will talk to you on Saturday. Good night.